on the Shenandoah Lady Zeps. Shenandoah getting the scoring started early as Emma Daly finds Kendall Snyder for the 3-ball. Now Fort Frye, they're going to respond with a long ball of their own as Ella Dowler creates a little space with the step back, and the Lady Cadets go up 8-5 early. Now in the second quarter, it's Ava Huffman. She's going to get baseline. She's going to pull up and knock down the basket. Lady Zeps continuing to shoot from deep. This time it's Emily Moore connecting from beyond the arc. First half coming to an end. Daly, she's going to get inside with a nice spin move and banks it off the glass as the Lady Zeps go into the half up 24-18. Lady Cadets now looking to close the gap. This time it's Ava Huffman pulling and connecting for Fort Frye. Shenandoah with a nice display of passing here. They get the ball down low to Molly Van Fleet, and she gets the easy bucket. Now it's Raylan Morgenstern. She's going to find Cohen Corson to end the third quarter as the Lady Cadets trying to battle back. Fourth quarter now, the Lady Zeps starting to show their dominance inside the paint. Again, it's Van Vliet cleaning the boards, and she's going to get the putback as the Lady Cadets season comes to an end as they fall 45-33.